Some people ask me, why did we set up NIBS, Nobel International Business School? And my answer is simple. We set this school up because we believe in the intellectual capacity of executives in Africa. Executives in Africa do make very tough decisions under very trying circumstances. And these executives are able to make decisions that affect a lot of people in this country. But one key important thing is that for executives to continue to do this and do this effectively, they need evidence that with which they will make those decisions. But unfortunately, we don't have any platform in this country, in Africa, for executives to actually improve their intellectual capacity in order to discover new things that they can share in order to improve the situation in Africa. And that's why we set up the school. So 3 key reasons. One is that we want executives to reach the highest intellectual level that they can reach. And secondly, we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to use their experiences to step back and reflect on those experiences, read the academic literature in order to develop something new that they can share to people. And finally, you all know that in this continent, we have a lot of business schools. And a lot of times, companies do complain about the lack of skills or practical skills of students who come out of these business schools. In other countries, executives are trained to go to the classroom in order to improve the situation. So our belief is that by training executives to have doctorates, they'll be able to go back to the classroom in the universities, in business schools, in order to make sure that our students coming out will have practical skills. So these are the reasons why we set up this business school. And we have developed a model. We know executives are very busy people, so we have developed a model that allows executives to do this at the shortest possible time. And one key aspect of this model, which I would like to mention now, is that we have 24-hour service from what we call research fellows. And these are individuals with master's degrees, research master's degrees, who are allocated to our research students, and they help them in every aspect of this degree process. And the second thing that we also do is that typically a lot of universities cannot graduate executives in the doctorate program. The reason is that first, executives don't have the time, and secondly, executives, even if they have the time, the model that traditional universities use do not help them. For example, you know that usually you complete the coursework and then later you have to complete the thesis. The coursework is structured and therefore people are able to go to classes, finish the coursework. The thesis is unstructured and therefore they cannot complete the thesis. So we have all but dissertation people around the continent. And what we've done is that in our program, you start the coursework and the degree simultaneously. So any coursework assignment we give you is related to your thesis. And you can see from this simple description that by the time you finish the coursework, you literally have much of the thesis already done. And then the thesis writing is also structured. So you have to come to class 3 days or 4 days in order to be able to write your thesis with the support of faculty, professors, and our research fellows. So I encourage you to ask questions, go to our website to see what we have to offer. And I think you'll be pleased. Currently we have quite 200 executives doing this program, and we have 11 students that graduated on 21st of April 2018. Now this shows that the model I've just described is working, and with time we will improve it and it will work even better. So I want you to explore NIBS on your intellectual journey.
The Doctor of Business Administration, which we normally call the DBA program, we refer to it as a flagship program at Nobel International Business School. This program was purposely introduced for top business leaders and executives. And so we call the DBA program the ultimate business degree for business leaders. We run this 3-year program in association with SBS Swiss Business School. And the DBA program is ranked among the top 20 DBA programs in the world according to the latest ranking from CEO Magazine 2018. Now, the target participant for this program are senior business executives and leaders. The whole idea behind the program is to introduce senior business leaders and executives to the basics of scientific research. And by introducing them to this basics of scientific research, they will acquire the needed skills to be able to add evidence to their decision making. Because we've realized that many business leaders in Africa are making decisions based on what we call anecdotal evidence. And so through the DBA program, we prepare them so that they become very good business executives who can be able to make decisions using hard evidence instead of just relying on anecdotal evidence. After the 3 years, a student can go on to become a practice professor in the university. So the DBA actually entitles you to use the title doctorate and also prepares you to become a practice professor. Another thing about the DBA is that a student who completes the program will become a consultant. You have the skills to consult in your field because the DBA helps you to produce a practical piece of research, actually a 40,000 word thesis, which then means that you become a thought leader in your field and you can be able to share knowledge with others in that field. Now, the DBA program involves 3 certificates. The first year, you do the coursework. After the coursework, you graduate with what we call the Masters of Applied Business Research and then a postgraduate certificate in contemporary management. Then, when you finish the thesis work, which is the last 2 years, then you are going to be awarded a Doctor of Business Administration. Now, what you need to understand is that you will not be on that journey alone. We have a dedicated network of research fellows, and each DBA student is given a research fellow that will provide technical assistance to the student. And then also you are given a thesis supervisor. This thesis supervisor is actually going to guide you. It's a professor. He will guide you through the research that you are doing. We always encourage students to choose a research topic in their area of expertise, and that makes the whole process easy, so that with all these things we have put in place, every student that is serious is able to graduate within the 3 years. Quite recently, we graduated 11 students from our first cohort, and in December we are graduating no less than 22 students, because our model is such that with the dedicated research fellow network and then the support from our staff and the thesis professors, you are able to finish on time. And the program is costing $38,000 for the 3 years. But the good thing is that you only pay $6,500 to access the program, and then we spread the remaining amount over the 3 years period for you to pay. One thing I can say about the DBA program that we are running at the NIBS is that any executive that is serious is able to graduate within the 3 years that we have promised, because we have structures in place to help you. And then also, the DBA program, for the past 3 years that we introduced, it has become like a confluence point for top business leaders in Africa, and they come here on the program to share knowledge and ideas. So we currently have over 150 students in the DBA program, and all these students are top business leaders and executives, some from Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, Kenya, and then Uganda. So it does not matter where you're located in Africa, you can still come for the DBA program. And we have special packages for people who are coming from countries that are in the East and Southern Africa.
Nobel International Business School is Africa's premier doctoral school, where we engage seasoned executives to do multiple and in-depth research in different areas across the economy. At Nobel International Business School, we also have our pre-doctorate program, the Executive MBA. Now, the Executive MBA has factored the emerging market, or has factored the global perspective into this program. Now, one must always take note, and one must always understand his or her environment to be able to be productive. So to do a program such as ours means you would have factored in the volatile nature of our economy or our macroeconomic indicators, the way they fluctuate. This is not pertinent to only Ghana, but across Africa and across emerging markets. You would have also taken into account the uncertain nature of this environment. Then you would also want to take account of the ambiguous nature of this environment. So looking at this kind of environment, then you would want to do a program that will not only give you a general skill that is abundant, but you also want to get knowledge that is equitable, knowledge that is useful, knowledge that you can apply in today's business environment. And at Nobel International Business School, our executive MBA builds the next generation leaders. It means you would need to develop the mindset, the exponential mindset that the future leader needs. Our value proposition can be categorized into 5 positions. Number 1 is that the program is a modular program, which means you do this once every month for only 12 months, and these 12 months are going to be really impactful on the way learning is designed, because we use a discovery-rich performance learning approach that has students and professors and the environment all intertwined and makes learning very interesting and very absorbable. We also have hands-on experience, that is real-time consulting projects with companies where you're going to learn how to consult and work on specific projects that are real-world projects from companies across Africa. And these companies are going to give a performance seal that attests to the rich nature or to the poor nature of that particular project. We also have an international module where students travel and interact with their peers across the globe and come back with rich experience, ready to explore and advance in that particular environment where they find themselves. You also have seasoned practitioner scholars who have gone through the mill, have gone through research in most cases, and have hands-on experience, and are going to give students really dynamic, really forward-thinking, really innovative ways of tackling Africa's problems and issues. One very important proposition that we offer is the program's ranking. The program is ranked number 3 in the world by the CEO magazine. The program has won several accolades. Remember that it's a program in partnership with SBS Swiss Business School, a top-tier university in Europe, ranked among most of the rating agencies as a top-tier university. So you would not only be among high flyers, but you also want to take advantage of the networking opportunity, whether it is the vertical networking connections that you want to have with higher research institutions, with professors, with peers from different industries, or horizontal networking opportunities where you could meet with some of your peers who come from around Africa. So you really have a global perspective here in the program. The program is for 12 months. The program gives you certain soft skills that might not be felt elsewhere in some of the EMBA programs that you find on the continent. For example, we have business analytics that we're going to explore and make sure students have the quantitative skills to be able to reach out to a lot of people through data analysis and data interpretation. You're going to read courses like digital marketing, like digital leadership, which are eventually becoming the trend of today, and every leader today must have that digital knowledge to be able to succeed. The program comes with 2 very important certificates. You get a postgraduate certificate in business project management. Then you're also going to have another certificate that is the Executive MBA from Swiss Business School.
I must say I'm not disappointed about how, my expectation and the actual experience and the delivery of the whole program, because I know that Prof. Adrian from CEIBS days, he's somebody who is very particular about whatever he does and the quality and the excellence that comes with it. So even when he during like an open day sort of program where he wanted to introduce executives to the whole DBA program and what it entailed. I attended one of such programs, and during the program he explained thoroughly, the new way he feels it can be done and we can finish on time and all. And true to his word, when we started, that's exactly what happened. So whatever you've seen here today, and even what they've talked about, it's all true, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm really excited that, we've been able to finish it within the 3 years that they set. And it was initially set for us to be able to do it. Now, in terms of how applying it even to industry or whatever I'm doing, I would say the right even in the course of the program, I saw tangible applications and I experienced it, because one of the modules that we needed to write on was the casework. And with the case, you had to put your findings in a real life environment and test and see. And I had the privilege to do that with one of my customers. And I guess that's what, enlightened up the whole research and brought excitement, to what we had studied. Yeah. So I recommend it to everyone.
I joined the program because I was convinced when I saw the advert that this was a program that would enrich my knowledge in business. I'm a businessman. I ran several companies, and I wanted something that could help me sustain the businesses. So when I went in, I was supported by the faculty staff and research group to choose a topic thesis that I have not regretted at all. And that's family business continuity when the owner exits, a study of Ghanaian SMEs. And my findings are really amazing and very profound. One thing that I realized very well was that social capital and networking ability of business owners key in sustaining family business after the owner's exit. And this is something I want to share with people in business and academia. Coincidentally, I've been given a portfolio by the president to manage Ghanaian businesses. So what I've learned there is certainly impacting, and you can see the amazing things we do in the ministry. I'm very confident that what I learned at the NIBS is going to be with me for the rest of my life. And I'll help support Ghanaian business to make them globally competitive. I'm so grateful I joined the program.